Okay, John.
All set?
Yep.
Well, it's just us, but we're still gonna start the meeting with the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's a good idea if I had your. And approval of the agenda, and you wanted to add
I would like, yes, Velma, I would like to add an executive session to talk about, once again, under 405-6C, the acquisition of property on Limerick Road.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna add a brief RSU 21 update.
Oh, committee, yep. RSU on the committees, C, RSU 21 update.
Motion to approve as amended.
All right, we've got a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? And does anyone have anything under a public forum? No, okay. Approve the minutes of February 27th.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor? All right, so much for that. Committee and board reports, the planning board meeting.
Yeah, I picked up the minutes from their meeting on March 9th. I can just fill you in a little bit about what they've been working on. It appears they're working on amendments to the land use ordinance to sort of prepare them for the annual town meeting in June. It looks like they're looking at a change in the proposed farm retail performance standards with the removal of the word medical within the definition of agriculture. It appears that preliminary they received a vote of a yes vote to make that change. They're looking at approvals and revisions of the accessory apartments standards. It does not appear that they made any motions that took any effect at that point. They were looking at the residential growth ordinance and recommending a building permit cap. They took at least 3 votes on that. First, there was a motion to make it 28. That failed. The next motion was to make it 30. That failed. And the third motion was to put it at 34, and that passed.
What's it currently today? Remember?
I think it's 40.
Yeah, so they dropped it.
Yeah. Then they had discussion with action on reviewing the existing shoreline zoning. There was no action taken on any issues there at this particular point. Their next meeting is set for March 16th. They will be discussing with action 6 items. Approval of the farm retail performance standards, approval of revisions to the land use ordinance on accessory apartments, review the proposed shoreline zoning changes, review the proposed revisions in the pet daycare centers, and review proposed revisions to landscape and buffering land use ordinance. And then they'll schedule some public hearings. So looks like they've got a full slate of activity for the meeting on the 16th.
And budget board?
Yeah, just to indicate to you all that we have another budget board meeting on Wednesday the 15th. I've reached out to the Sheriff's Department, and they will have a representative at that meeting to discuss the additional dedicated patrol services. I've indicated to them that we are looking for a statistical driven analysis to try to give us a little bit better feel as to what that is all about. We're gonna review the draft town warrant. I'll have a warrant that'll be available on the dollar amounts that we've looked at and the approvals that we've provided to date. And then I received some additional information from the school on what the amount of contribution they'll be expecting from the town of Arundel this budget season. So I want to share that information, and then we'll get into a general discussion on the proposed tax rate at that point to see where we're going to be, and maybe have some discussion on that.
On the sheriff one, I just came by, there is a regular sheriff's cruiser, not ours, sitting down at the vet clinic across from the Arundel Market. He's sitting in there, so I don't know if our officer is on vacation or off for the day and they have somebody else filling in.
They may have somebody here. I know that our patrol officer was here quite extensively last week for the unfortunate incident we had on Campground Road, so.
And as of the news tonight, they still aren't releasing any more news on that. Okay, RSU 21 update?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got a partial update. My pen ran out of ink, and I was gonna go on and I was gonna go online and read. I just never got to it, so I'll get you what I got. Meeting Monday, March 6th. They had a presentation for a 6th grade girl, Bella Rosborough. She got the Prudential Spirit of Community Awards for outstanding service to a community. She was part of the plastic bag initiative in Kennebunk. She really got into that, and because of that, she will be going to Washington D.C. with a whole bunch of other folks. So, very nice of her. Retirement of Hasina Taylor, a French teacher at the high school. Retirement of Mary McCarthy, art teacher at the middle school of the Kennebunks. Retirement of Donna Gillette, the admin assistant to the superintendent. Retirement of Ann Rodier, teacher of gifted and talented. Retirement of Thomas Post, teacher of industrial arts and technology. And let's see, resignation of Donna Dolores, a school nurse. They talked, this was part of the consent agreement items. They talked about, there was some leadership money that was available, and they gave $2,000 to the Wile E. Coyotes robotics team. And then also Jack and Joyce Reese and family donated $2,200 for the tennis benches for the high school tennis courts. So that was pretty nice. And then the last thing that I really got is they're working on Google Docs and learning Google Docs. It's something new that they're doing, so they're kind of really struggling to work that up. And at some point in time later on in the night, they went to executive session to discuss the evaluation of the superintendent. I didn't write down what time we adjourned, but I didn't have a pen, so. That was it. I couldn't find a pen, believe that. That's all I got.
Okay, well, the finance committee did meet last week, and I brought some of the paperwork into Keith. And they're looking at several things. First of all, you mentioned that art teacher is retiring. Fortunately for them, that art teacher is one who not only goes above and beyond, but does a lot more than what her job requires, and has always bent over backwards for the kids. Well, to replace her, first of all, they will probably be replacing her with someone earning less money, but in order to get the same amount of benefit for the kids, they're probably going to have to replace her with 1.5 people. So that is one of the things they're looking at. They still don't know. They have a 10% placement for insurance in that budget, and they still don't know, haven't heard from the insurance company exactly what that figure's gonna be. They hope it's gonna be less, in which case they will be able to reduce it. In technology, they have looked at a very large amount for new technology this year and new computers, and rather than pay for them all in 1 year, they are looking at putting them on a 3-year lease purchase, which will save some money. So they're still working at trying to get that budget down a little bit.
Speaking of the budget,
Yeah.
so Matt Fadiman did state that the committee is looking at 2 budgets. One from the RSU, they went to the board, said, hey, give us a flatline budget. And then there was another one from the superintendent, give us a superintendent's budget. The superintendent's budget is like up 2.9%. That's just the operating budget, that doesn't include the debt.
The bond.
debt. But most of that is related to salary contracts that have already part of the union that, you know, they've already contracted out, so. I don't know why they went to her and said, you know, or they said, give us a 0. They're gonna be in a tough battle, there's no doubt about that.
They always ask just to see exactly what it would look like, and that 0% budget, because of the course, you've got to cover those salaries, because that's union negotiated, and the benefits that go with those salaries. They would end up not only cutting teachers and programs, but there would be a good chance that they might very well lose either their AB or IB recognition as one of their blue ribbon schools. So they decided almost right off that that wasn't at all feasible. It was not going to benefit, it might benefit the taxpayers, but it certainly wouldn't benefit the kids whatsoever. They would end up having to increase class sizes and drop classes. So they said no. Tell us.
With the information that Velma provided to me and the contact I had with the finance director over there, Rudy, it looks like last year we contributed about $4.5 million to the operation of the school. Right now, the preliminary estimate is $4.8 million, so it's going to be over $300,000 increase in additional cost. That includes our straight-up contribution, our EPS account allocation, our debt service, the adult education piece, all wrapped into one. It comes about 4.8. So, don't know. You know, we'll get into that further discussion at our meeting on Wednesday. You know, we'll have to make some preliminary reviews of where I think our value is going to be, what change is going to be there. And then I think the other thing that we'll have to talk about will be our estimated revenue and how we're going to manage that piece as we look at that. But we're probably looking at, unless things change, over $300,000 of additional cost for the operation or for education of the kids.
Yeah, Matt was saying something like 5 to 6% total budget increase.
And this is the first year of the really big bubble payment. Next year, it will be almost the same, and then the year after that, it starts down.
Yeah, it's about $380,000, I think, for debt service for us. I'll have those numbers for you. They're all broken down from Rudy, so that will be helpful.
Okay, managers report, letter of appreciation.
Yes, I put it in your packet, but we received a letter from the town of Hollis sending us a thank you for our fire department responding to a structure fire and providing them some services. So they've given us a thank you, and I wanted to publicly just make that known, and I provided a copy of this to the fire service and so on and so forth. So.
See, that's nice. They have 3 selectmen, but the selectmen have their own stationery. That's nice. Or the town stationery has the selectmen's names at the top. Okay. Alf Alfred letter follow-up, sheriff and county manager letters.
Yeah, I just, I provided that in your packet, just to give you a flavor of the continuing saga here. But I think what it basically comes down to is, I don't think all the parties have really spoken to each other yet. And I think at the end of the day, they'll be able to work out whatever issues they have here. But both the county sheriff and the county manager indicated to me that Alfred really hasn't approached them so they can sit down and sort of put this thing to bed. So they're, for lack of a better term, I guess politically, they're just sending out some information to all the 29 towns as a result of the letter that Alfred sent out, so you understand both sides of the issue as they continue to discuss it.
Okay, how about, MDOT meeting on Bartlett Bridge construction?
Yeah, just to give you a quick heads up, Roger, I, and Terry were at the meeting last week. Things seem to be going along. The CPM construction contractors are there. They're the ones that will be doing the bridge. It appears that work will start in the area come April. They got to take several weeks to get ready to put the temporary bridge in. The temporary bridge will be a 2-lane bridge. They are anticipating no signalization for that. They're going to allow the traffic to flow through the temporary bridge. They will be turning onto Walker. It looks like they'll have a long swoop there, and then across the river, and then back up onto Route 1 through the folks' property on the other side. They expect that to be done probably in May. They'll have that wrapped up. It looks like they're going to be closing the bridge on June 1st, somewhere right around June 1st, and moving all the traffic over to the temporary bridge at that point and begin the construction of the new bridge. So we went through that. They, made sure that all the parties that were there had everybody's phone numbers, so communication will be effective. It seems like a pretty straightforward deal.
When they expect to be complete?
You would have to ask me that. I don't recall. I think it's going to be, don't quote me on that. I don't recall off the top of my head when they did send that preliminary information out, but I don't remember right now. So that's all I have on
So
that.
that's gonna be a case of starting around the corner, going right, going left, and going left again.
Right, they're gonna reduce the speed, obviously, from 35 to 25. They indicated that if they do need signals, they will put them in. There was no issue there. My concern was the approaches onto and off of Walker, and what impact that will have, and then what impact our road will take as a result of this diversion. So they indicated that will all be taken care of. So we'll just keep an eye on that, make sure that's done properly. And then whether or not we're gonna be able to realign a little bit of Walker to the Route 1 after the bridge is done too. So I'll have further discussions on that as well.
Okay. New business, liquor license for Dutch Elm Golf Course.
Yes, I provided a copy. I have the original here, and if you approve it, I'll provide it to you for signatures. But Dutch Elm, who has been evidently getting a liquor license from you since 1963, is looking to renew. The CEO has provided a letter or response at the end saying that he's approved after his review. It would be my recommendation, based on the information presented in the application, to approve the liquor license for the Dutch Elm Golf Course.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve liquor license renewal, Dutch Elm Golf Course.
Second?
Any discussion? It amazes me at the amount of food and liquor that they're selling. All in favor? the Seafood Center.
Yeah, Seafood Center, again, one of those businesses that have been here, been getting a liquor license from the town since 2008. Again, the information has been reviewed, and the CEO has provided his statement at the end approving the issuance of this license. And I would entertain a motion to accept it.
Make a motion, we accept the liquor license renewal for Seafood Center.
Second? All in favor?
Sorry.
Okay. And we want to go into an executive session.
You wanna do the accounts payable? and
Oh, let's
payroll
do,
ones?
yes. Yep, accounts payable and payroll.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
I make a motion, we go into executive session per 4056C to discuss acquisition of property at Limerick Road.
Second.
At 7:20.
7:23.
All in favor?